Hey friends, I'm so excited to be sitting here chatting today with Hillary DeMayo and Bob Goff. We're going to talk about something that matters a lot to all of us, 20-somethings, and how 20-somethings are in the church and out of the church and what's going on. So what's y'all's first take? When you think of 20-somethings right now, what is their thing? Who are they?
I work with 20-somethings at Southeastern University, and I think of passion. They are just like absolutely passionate about pretty much anything. So passion is the first word that comes to my mind for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the thing that popped to mind is yes.
Yeah.
You ask somebody who's in their 20s, you want to do something, the answer is yes. It's like when they come later, it's like, I don't know, or maybe, but like, yes, that's the word.
Right, so what's that point? So how do we teach them? You know, because a lot of us who are watching are adult men and women, right? I mean, we have a good chunk of 20s. Hillary kind of runs the college department, if you will. But for these adult men and women, how do we speak that into 20-somethings? How do we speak into their lives to say, keep saying yes?
One of the things that springs to me is this idea of availability. Like for instance, like so I put my phone number out there. There's a million people that have my cell phone number. And so I'm just the most available guy. Like if I hear the phone ring, I answer it. And there's something beautiful about that. I don't think people follow vision. I think they follow availability. And so whether you're the 20-something or you're the next version, 30s, 40s, 50s, but just being the most available people, and there's something beautiful about that. You don't have to have all the answers, just have all the love. So like, I know the people in the darkest times for me, it was the people that were available.
Definitely.
It wasn't the people that were the smartest ones, the most available ones.
Yeah.
I agree with that so much. They're just so hungry to be in deep relationships. They have access to so much information, but they want people to just sit down with them and just who really are available and care about them deeply. And help them guide and direct that passion. It's like, you know, they'll say yes right away, but it's like, okay, now that I've said yes and I'm passionate about it, where should I go and which way should I go? And they absolutely will follow and love people who make themselves available and are really just one step ahead of them, I find, and they'll like cling to that and go the distance if you'll just show them kind of, this is how I'm doing it, come behind me or come beside me, and they just run alongside of you just so passionately.
Yeah.
There's a theme throughout Scripture, and it would be described as extravagant love. That idea of like if you're really stingy with your love, like it evaporates. Isn't that weird? But in this reverse economy of Jesus, like when we're extravagant with our love, like I don't know, it just doesn't, it has shelf life.
Right.
And so maybe whether you're the 20-something, 30, 40, 50, like just being extravagant in the way that you love people, not efficient. Like for instance, like I go a lot of places, but I don't try to figure out how to get there. I try to figure out how to get home, right? So I spend my evenings with Sweet Maria.
Right.
Which is crazy. I flew like millions of miles last year because I get home and we don't even talk about where I am. Isn't that crazy? If she wasn't with me here, she would know we're in Austin.
Right.
Right? Because when somebody asks Maria, where's Bob? She says he's on his way home.
Yeah.
Cool.
So what if we're the ones that just keep running back to each other, extravagant in the way that we love each other, extravagant in our availability, extravagant, like not just saying nice things about people, but seeing who they're becoming.
Right.
And we spend a little time talking about that, like,
that's
so
good.
who are you becoming? Who are you turning
Yeah, and I
into?
think there is I am involved in our college ministry, and so many people, Bob, men and women, and I've talked to you about this before, so many people really, especially in their 20-somethings, really believe in what you're saying.
Yeah.
In a way that I didn't surprise me I'm surprised I loved your book, but in like man, y'all are like meaning this about Bob Goff. What is it about your message that this generation can't resist?
Well, not my idea, like Jesus's idea, right? This idea of just love everybody. And I think most of us are either a reflection of or a reaction to the people who've been closest to us. Think about it, whether it's parents, friends, old boyfriends or girlfriends, you either reflect the best of. If I hang out with people in the South a lot, I start saying y'all.
Yeah, that's
I do, right? And so, if they say Mike could, I'm like, what's up with Mike? Is that like maybe? So,
Mike.
But one of the other things that, and it's a bigger problem, is reaction to. And what if you had a raw deal somewhere, a broken relationship, be a beautiful reaction to that. Right? So that's what love does. Like love is a beautiful reaction to these things. You don't walk around thinking about, you could be wounded, but you could say like, but I've got this big idea about Jesus.
Yeah.
And then we don't need to lick all these return addresses and put Jesus on everything. Like love's its own return address. is Jesus, from the
Yeah.
author of love. And it's not like minimizing the gospel, it's just like it's making it about Jesus. Every time we do the selfless act of love, it's like this declaration of faith.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I believe to be true.
Yeah. And that demographic of people
Yeah.
seem to really believe it.
Yeah.
You know, like for some reason there's this, maybe it's a supernatural gifting for that generation, but they seem to really believe that message.
You know, one thing that I think might be getting all of us, whatever generation we're in, off track, is all this wrong messages
Yeah.
about like who we are and what we're about. Do you guys get a lot of junk mail?
Yes.
I get it by the foot.
Right.
But here's the deal. I just see the return address. I check it. If I don't know the return address, it's out. But I think what's happening is people are reading all this junk mail.
Right.
And it isn't from
Right.
Jesus.
Right.
They're like
Yeah.
from like, oh, like if we could just sort the mail a little better, I think that would serve us. We wouldn't be distracted by things that aren't true about ourselves, about others, about our faith. So, and we can kind of do that for each other. We can just call it. Like if
Yeah.
you were saying something, I just go like, I don't know if that's, I think that might be junk mail.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that you said that last night, helping them see who they want to be and who they can be. And so I think it's a generation that's like, they have this energy and excitement, but it's like, okay, no, we need to guide them and tell them who we want them to be, rather than just letting them become, you know, whatever they end up being. And it's like, I loved when you said that last night. And when I go back and I work with students, it's like, okay, this is who I see them becoming. And so telling them this, man, you guys are courageous, you guys are bold, you can do these things. And so helping them really believe it themselves. And then if they can believe it and they do it in love, like, I'm excited about this generation.
Yes, back in the old scriptures, they talked about cupbearers and sword bearers and all that. What if we're mirror bearers?
Yeah, that's
We
awesome.
just hold these mirrors up and say, you know, this is how Jesus sees you,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Have you ever had somebody take a photograph of you, and whoever's taking the photograph is always smiling?
smiling.
Yeah, yeah, I do that all the time.
That's how Jesus sees you.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like really in your pain, your confusion.
yeah.
He's like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But he smiles at us. And sometimes I think we get this vision like that God's like so disappointed. He's just, when we mess up and we give ourselves all these names, he just keeps calling us beloved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And that's the junk mails, all the others names. So that's what we could do for each other. Hold
Yeah.
up this mirror and
Right.
say, Jesus calls you beloved.
Right.
He sees you dressed in white right now. He doesn't see the broken relationship. He sees who you're turning into.
Yeah. Hillary, tell me, I know this is kind of like asking you to like describe a map that has yet to be made.
Yeah.
But like, what are your hopes for If College? Like, what do you, I know this is a brand new thing,
Yeah.
so how can Bob and I help?
Yeah.
What do you need from adults? What is it going to be for 20-somethings?
Yeah, well, I'm excited. If College is this new initiative. We have the If Gathering itself is this beautiful movement, but what's happening is maybe there isn't necessarily a place for the college ladies to necessarily feel like they belong. And so what we want, and what I found with talking to college students, is if they can find a place in school to belong. The great thing is they can be a part of it once they leave the university. They can be a part of If Local. They can come to a gathering. They can host the tables. And so
There's a place to graduate
yeah,
into.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so it's not just if you happen to be a part of a great college, then can be a lonely wandering time afterwards.
Yeah.
And so we're like, man, we don't want them just to have this momentum and then just crash. We want them to just keep going. So really spreading the word. I think really letting ladies know that there's a place for them, that it's not that we like to say there's a place for everyone at the table, and it starts in college. And so if we can start discipling them and helping them find out who they are in college, then they save so many years of just wandering and just all, reading the wrong junk mail. So really pushing people to knowing about If College and inviting them to be a part and to belong, that would be the best place. And then we want ideas. We want it to be what college ladies want. And so I've been hosting like focus groups and just asking questions. I want to give them what they want. And so get onto the If College Facebook page, join it, tweet about it, let us know, and we'll
I
make
get notifications every day.
Yes,
People are
yes,
talking
good.
in it all the time. I'm
Good.
like, all of a sudden, y'all are all best friends.
Yeah, I
y'all
love it.
just jumped in a Facebook group together and you're
Yeah.
best friends.
And I love it. Doesn't matter if it's a Christian campus, a secular campus, wherever. We want them to all belong and start really encouraging each other. So let us know, and we'll shape it really around what they desire.
That's great.
You know, the crazy part too, throughout Scripture, it was always what would be college-age people
Yes.
that changed everything.
Yeah. Right.
Like the older guys like me were either
still need you, though,
we were
Bob.
getting in the way. So our job, the next generation, like be helpful
Yeah.
or get out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
I love it.
And so what if we just say, so for college-age women, like you're the ones,
Yeah.
Mary, everybody that changed
Yeah.
Earth was like that age.
Yeah.
So I have a tremendous amount of hope. I love that you're doing this.
Yeah. Thanks.
I think the group of 20-somethings is just, I could just get teary about it. I think
Yeah.
God's doing something really unique with
agree.
them. I feel like we're really lucky. Well, thank you for joining us. Y'all know how to find Bob and Hillary all over the internet. So, and listen, Bob's exactly right. I think we be helpful. If you're an adult, be helpful for 20-somethings. Let's love on them and love them well. So thank you guys.
Thanks a million.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.